Have you ever done your morning affirmations, felt absolutely incredible, and then opened your eyes, looked around your room, and felt that heavy, familiar sting of disappointment? You check your phone, no text. You check your bank account, still the same number. You check your life, and you think, I am doing everything right. Why isn't this working? If you're exhausted from trying to force your reality to change, listening to the meditations, writing in the journals, trying so hard to stay high vibe, I want you to take a deep breath. You can stop working so hard. The problem isn't your worth, and the problem isn't that the universe is ignoring you. The problem is actually a glitch in how you're looking at your world. And today, we're going to use a famous law of quantum physics to fix it. We're going to take a very real, practical problem that we struggle with, look at the reason why this plays out the way it does, and finally, how to fix it. If you've watched my series on the 12 universal laws, you know that your internal state dictates your external world. But there's a massive missing piece that almost nobody talks about, and it leaves thousands of brilliant women just like you trapped in what I call manifestation fatigue. We're told to change our lives, we have to do more visualizing, more affirming, more chasing. But true feminine manifestation isn't about chasing, it's about observing. In physics, there's a proven phenomenon called the observer effect. And once you understand how it works, you'll realize that the very act of desperately checking to see if your manifestation has arrived is the exact thing keeping it away. Let's break down the science of why your life feels stuck and how to finally unfreeze it. In the early days of quantum mechanics, physicists ran a test called the Double-Slit Experiment. They wanted to see how the tiniest building blocks of our universe behave. When they weren't actually watching these subatomic particles, the particles acted like waves. They were fluid, infinite, and existed in multiple places at once. What physics calls a state of superposition or pure potential. But the moment the scientists placed a measuring device to watch them, the waves instantly collapsed. They stopped being fluid and froze into hard, solid physical particles in one fixed spot. Simply being watched changed how the universe behaved. Now, let's take this and bring it into your daily life, because you are the scientist and your life is the experiment. When you sit down to meditate or say your affirmations, you enter the wave state. You connect to the infinite potential of who you want to be. The woman who is financially abundant, deeply loved, and entirely at peace. You feel it. It's real. But then you finish your meditation, you step back into your day, and you immediately go into checking mode. You look at your current reality to see if it's changed yet. You hyper-observe the empty inbox, the lack of money, or the loneliness. And in that exact second of hyper-observation, your brain registers it's not here. Do you see what you just did? Just like the scientists in the lab, your intense focus locked the particles into place. By hyper-observing the lack of what you want, you are literally using your quantum power to freeze your current struggles into a solid, unchangeable reality. You're accidentally scripting the very story you're trying to escape. This is where the magic of feminine energy comes in. Masculine energy is about the action, the measuring, the tracking, the forcing. But feminine energy is the energy of the receiver. It's the ultimate magnet. The feminine observer doesn't check her reality to see if the universe delivered. She commands the reality because she knows the universe is already moving. Think about it like online shopping. When you order a dress online, do you stand by your front door every 5 minutes checking the porch? Do you panic and say, "It's not here yet, the store must hate me"? No. You look at the confirmation screen once, you close the laptop, and you go about your day because you know it's in transit. Your attention is at peace. We need to treat your reality the exact same way. So how do we practically break the cycle of hyper-observation? Here's your 3-step quantum makeover to apply starting today. Step 1. Give reality a 3-second expiration date. The next time you look at something in your life that triggers fear or disappointment, like a bill or a lonely evening, you have exactly 3 seconds to interrupt the thought. Look at it, take a breath, and mentally say, "This is just old data," because it is. The physical world you see right now is just the echo of your past thoughts. It's yesterday's news. Acknowledge it, call it old data, and look away. The moment you look away, your brain is going to try to scream, "But look at the problem." You need to interrupt that signal by dropping into your body. Take 1 deep breath and name 3 physical things right in front of you that have nothing to do with the problem. Look away from the screen or the bill. Touch the texture of your desk. Look at the color of the sky outside. Drink a sip of water. You're actively telling your nervous system, in this exact second, I am completely safe. The old data can't hurt me right now. You can't just tell your brain to think about nothing. It doesn't work. You have to give it a new low-stress task to process instead. Think of it like closing a heavy, lagging app on your phone and opening a lighter one. Pivot to a routine, physical task that requires just enough attention to keep you from obsessing. Go wash the dishes, walk into the other room, stretch, put on your favorite song. Give your brain a physical destination so it doesn't wander back to checking the loop. When you look away from a lack, you leave an empty space. If you don't fill it, anxiety will creep back in. You need to remind yourself why you're looking away. Mentally remind yourself that by leaving it alone, you're letting it change. Remind yourself of the physics. Because I am no longer hyper-observing this problem, the particles are free to move again. The quantum field is rearranging this in secret right now. By looking away, you are actually giving the universe the space to fix it. So step 2, the what-if superposition. Before you go to sleep tonight, your brain is highly suggestible. Instead of reviewing everything that went wrong today, prompt your mind with open-ended, expansive quantum questions. Ask yourself, what if everything is working out for me in secret? What if the version of me who has everything is already waiting for me tomorrow? This forces your mind back into the wave of infinite, beautiful possibilities right before you drift off. And step 3, shift from checking to knowing. Stop looking at your life to see if your spiritual work is working. The moment you ask, "Is it here yet?" you're signaling lack. Instead, let your affirmations and meditations be the reward themselves. You do them to feel good now, not to manipulate the physical world later. When you change the inner observation completely, the outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match you. My beautiful friend, you can step off the manifestation treadmill. You don't need to try harder. You just need to soften your gaze on what is and trust what is becoming. You are the scriptwriter of this reality. Stop watching the old movie and start observing the new one. If you want a safe space to completely step out of checking mode and reset your mind in that beautiful wave of infinite potential right now, check out some of our other videos and meditations. Let's collapse some beautiful timelines together. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.